Hey there, welcome to the V2 of the Gamepad cursor plugin. So in this one we've got a 3D widget. There's a request to make it so that you can have a game where you interact with the screen and then actually bind to the screen bounds. So we can do that now, and then we've also got an example of an inner bound here. And so you can lock to individual widgets. In this case it's a border, and then in this case in the outside it's actually a widget interaction component, and you can leave that. And you get all of the same designs in here, so you've got all of your things from the original plugin. So we can look around here and do this. Right. So let's go and take a look at how that's set up. So firstly we have this blueprint widget. We've got a widget interactor here, or a widget interactable widget here. And then we have receive hardware input. That's so that we can take the inputs. And then we've got the settings for this are just pretty basic. There's a translucent material that I've made that helps with some of the settings so that it's less aliased and blurry. Then we've got a widget class, and then we're just saying it's 1920 by 1080. Now there is a thing to be cognizant of here. Depending on your actual full screen resolution and the resolution of this, if there's a competition, you can have some issues, but you can resolve those by using rect bounds instead of widget component bounds. Then we've got the actual player controller. So in here we have the widget interactor. It's just using the mouse position for the interactions and the hit testing. And then we have input for interaction, and if we're currently view targeting the player, then we're going to go and take a look at the screen. Otherwise we're going to view target the player, and then this just handles the in and out. Then we've got the cursor system enabled flags. So now we can actually enable and disable everything about the plugin completely, or by choice on which ones we want to keep. So for example, I want to keep input chords listening. So in this case, I keep the input chords. And then we have just our normal navigation modes. This is the lock mouse to widget, and then this is the clear bounds. And then here I've got some stuff to do with anti-aliasing. So depending on your anti-aliasing method, we're going to cache that before, and then we're going to go to alias 0. So that helps with 3D widget screen blur. And then we go back to our desired anti-alias after that. So the next thing is the actual widget in here. So if we go and take a look at the widget, jump in to this, we've got a new page here. So we can go and edit that page. And as we look at this page, we'll see if you press this button, we're just going to lock the mouse to the border. And then we've got some padding, so we can have an interior padding. All this does is it makes it so that you're actually just 10 units in. Basically, you can have it as far as you want. It just gives a little bit of game feel. And then when we stop, if we're using the 2D game, then we'll just clear the mouse bounds. If we're using the 3D game and we've stopped this, then we actually want to bind ourselves back to the widget component. So we go back to the widget component in the 3D game demo, and we don't in this one. And so to show that off just one more time, we can jump around, we can jump in, we're bound to all this. We've got our tooltips and we can press on those. We've got our smart lock here inside, and it binds to the rect as well. So if we go into the blueprint widget and change the camera angle here to something like this, for example, you can see in the viewport now it's slightly angled. So you can actually see it's binding to any shape and size. There's also an event for when you're hitting the edge of a screen. And so say you've got multiple screens, you could actually have that event throw you to another screen like a mech HUD. So let's go take a look at the, well, let's Control Z that because this is my working version. There we go. So let's go take a look at the regular demo widget as well. So back in the normal demo here, I technically don't want to save anything. Okay, so I hit play in here, and I can start a lock here, and you can see we're bound to the inside of this. This is our normal 2D display. So again, I can go back to Gamepad and mess with this here. So that's the new version 2 for the plugin. We've got a new complete control over our mouse cursors clamping and bounding, and we've also got some controls for the state of the entire system. And so one last thing that I want to show is in this widget here, at the top we've got all the different functions. So these are all the bindings, all the different types of locks you can do, the resets, whether we're going to update the bounds on tick, which means that you can actually move things around the screen at the same time if you really want. And then we've got all of our pure gets and sets, so we've got those in there. So thanks for watching, and I hope that helps.